Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode with your girl Audrey Codner from ACG Math Tutoring. Hopefully you guys are having a lovely day. So what we basically do here is I pull some problems, basically algebraic, Algebra 1, Algebra 2. That's usually seen on the GED, the ASVAB, the Accuplacer, TEAS test, HESI test, any of those standardized tests, even sometimes the SAT and the ACT. And what I do is I just go over some of these problems. You put the answer in the comments, the one as best as you know. And if you're not sure what the answer is, you can put a question mark in the comments. So we're taking a look at our first one. So which of the following numbers is irrational? Is it A, 5/10, B, the square root of 16, C, 2/3, or D, the square root of 2? Now, I definitely know that the GED or any kind of high school equivalency test, they definitely have the types of numbers that's on there, as well as the ASVAB. So if you think you know the answer, go ahead and put it in the chat. So which one do you think is an irrational number? Is it A, 5/10, B, the square root of 16, C, 2/3, or D, the square root of 2? Hey Charmaine, good afternoon to you. Hopefully everything's going well with you. All right, Drew is saying D. Okay, Dad's Jokes is saying D as well. Welcome on in, Dad's Jokes. So as people are just kind of thinking, or maybe they're putting a little bit of chat GPT, come on. Now, when you take these assessments, remember you cannot use a calculator, especially if you're taking the GED, the ASVAB, or the Accuplacer. You're not allowed to use a calculator. So some of these things we're going to have to kind of dig in our brain a little bit. But luckily for you, I'm here to kind of break it down when you see fit. All right, so Emily's saying D, HG is saying D, Joey's saying C with a question mark. Thank you, Joey. Okay, Taylor's saying definitely 2. User 61 is saying D. Yaya, thank you so much for following. Okay, so if you like these things, go ahead, make sure you follow me. All right. Okay, how's it not C? Okay. Oh, Freedom Land, how are you? Hey to you as well. All right, so let's take a look. Here, when we look at the different types of numbers, we have we have our real numbers and we have our complex numbers, right? Our real numbers are separated into 2 areas. One is your rational, and the other is your irrational. Now, if I may go with the flow, the rational numbers, we always start with our counting numbers. So anything that you can count on your digits, starting with 1. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way to in the bank account. Sorry, a little flashback. All right, so those are your counting numbers, things that you can count on your digits. Then you have your whole numbers. So the whole numbers is basically your counting number, but instead of you starting with 1, you're starting with 0, okay? Got you, whole number. All right, then after with the whole numbers, then you have your integers. So your integers are your positive, your negative, and the 0. Okay, then you go into your rational numbers. Now, the rational numbers, you have basically fractions and you have decimals that has an ending. So if I want to say 0.125 or 125 thousandths, I can say that. 2/3, that's a rational number. 0.05, that's a rational number, especially when it has an end. Okay, now square root of 16, that's a perfect square root. That gives me a 4. And of course, a 4 is a counting number, it's a whole number, and it's an irrational number, which makes it a rational number. Integer makes it a rational number. Now, irrational numbers, that's when you're dealing with pi. You're dealing with E. Yes, E is a number. You're dealing with I, okay? You're dealing with those prime square roots. So square root of 2, square root of 7, okay? Those are going to be your irrational number. So the only one here that is irrational is going to be letter D. Okay, so hopefully that answers that question that someone says, how come it's not C? All right. Okay, we're all good? Yes. All right, so thank you so much for the follows, guys. And that's basically what we're doing. I mean, not for the whole time, but that's basically what we're doing. Just looking over some problems and see if we can break it down to the best of our ability. So solving the system of equations, we have y equals 2x and x plus y equals 9. So is your answers, remember, when you're looking at order pairs, it's your x, then your y's, all right? Had to reemphasize that a couple days ago. So A is either 3, 6, B, 6, 3, C, 2, 4, or D, 4, 5. Which one of those order pairs is going to satisfy this system? Okay, so I have a whole bunch of A's. I got Jumping Jan, how are you? With B. Okay, Nautical with A. I like how you did that. Cat with A, Keith G with A. Thanks so much for the follow, Rashi. All right, Case was saying C. The Absolute was saying A. Okay, Jama was saying A. I think there was other people that were saying some things earlier. Let me see. Okay, Nicole with an A. Kendall with an A. Okay. Is that Gorjo? I'm not sure. With an A. Sarah with an A. Okay. Okay. All right. No need to be rude, Nicole. Just keep it to yourself. There you go. All right, so we have a D with an enlightened. Okay, Emily with an A. All right, thank you. Okay, change your A. Change my A. Okay, we have our D. All right, so let's take a look. Change to A. Okay, I was like, change my A. Why? Okay, Patrick with the A. There you go. All right, so we are trying to figure out which one is going to represent our system here. Now, we can do this solving one of two ways. We can either take our answers and plug them in for the X and Y's to see which one is going to give me the right answer for both equations. That's the only way it works. If it works for one and it doesn't work for the other, immediately gone. If it didn't work for one, then immediately gone. All right. So I know if I tried to plug in for the C, if I plugged in X, which is 2, and I say 2 times 2, that will give me a 4. That works so far. So if I plug in 2 plus 4, that doesn't give me a 9. So you see what I'm saying? You can plug it in. Or you can substitute. So this is telling me y equals 2x. So that means this 2x can basically substitute for that y. So that means you can have x plus 2x is equal to 9. X plus 2x, that gives me 3x. Remember, there is a 1 assumed to be in front because there is 1x right there. Equals 9. So then we divide both sides by 3. So x is equal to 3. So which one of those answer choices gives me x, a 3 for my x? That's going to be A. Once you do that, then boom, you're done. If you want to finish it out, because there are some people that watch this that is currently in the classroom, you have to show all your work. Now, if you're a person that's taking your standardized test, they don't care about your work. They care, did you pick A, B, C, or D? Okay, so if you wanted to, you could have put the 3 in for the x. 2 times 3 gives me 6, and that was my y value. I can add the 3 plus the 6 together and get my 9, and that's another way that you can pick for your answer of A. Okay, all right, okay. All right, so just make sure you're plugging in the right number for the right variable. All right, so let's take a look at this one. So we have a rectangular prism, has dimensions 4 by 5 by 6. What is its surface area? So is it A, 120, B, 148, C, 60, or D, 74? Okay, so if you think you know the answer, okay, go ahead and put it in the chat. Okay, we're seeing some A's, we're seeing some A's, we're seeing some A's. Okay, all right, so we got lots of A's, 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 A's. Okay, I got some A's, I got some B's. Okay, we got Jasmine and always with B's. David with a C. Brandon. Okay. All right. So, rectangular prism. If you're saying that, oh, all I have to do is just go 4 times 5 times 6, and then I would get 4 times 5 is 20, and 20 times 6 is 120. Ladies and gentlemen, what you found is volume. Okay, you found the volume. What they're saying is they want you to find the surface area. Okay, so with your surface area, you got 2 times. Then you do your, I should put it as a bracket, it'll be a little bit easier. And change my colors. So that means I'm going to do my 4 times my 5 plus my 4 times my 6 plus my 5 times my 6. I'm basically taking the area of each of the sections. Okay, we're not looking for volume. So here we have our 20 plus our 24 plus our 30. So we have 20 plus 30, that gives me 50, or I should really say 44. 44 plus 30, I usually like to group it. We got our 74. And the reason why we're doing it by 2, because since we got a rectangular prism, so that means 4 times 2, that gives me 8, and 7 times 2 gives me 14. So we're basically taking the areas of each of the sections, and let me show you. So here's my rectangle, and here's my rectangle. Rectangular prism. Okay, so if we have our, I don't know, I'm just going to do 4, 5, 6. So that means I have to take the area of this side, and what happens on this side happens over here. So there's 2 of them. I have to take the area of this top portion, which is the 6 and the 5. There's 1 in the top, and the same measurement is happening in the bottom. Then we have this other portion that is on this front. So we have our 6 and our 5 here again. Whatever happens in this front happens in this back. So that's why we're taking the areas of 1, 2, and in the back 3 areas, and we're multiplying it by 2 because there's a set of 2 for each of them. So your answer is actually going to be B. Okay, don't jump ahead. Always take a look to see what you're supposed to find. So if you're multiplying all 3, that's for volume. We wanted to get that surface area. Okay. Okay, this was so helpful. Good. All right. Not a problem. Sometimes the visuals can get a little crazy. All right, so now for this one, a person earns $15 per hour if they work 40 hours a week and 20% taken out for taxes. What is the take-home pay? Is it A, $600, B, $480, C, $500, or D, $120? What do you think? Thanks so much for the follow. Appreciate it. Okay, Tyler, I appreciate that. Okay, Sarah's saying B. Okay, Amora saying 480 with the B. Kid saying B. G squared saying B. Is that Hiawatha? Okay, we got a whole bunch of B's. David's got my D. We got user Craig Alaskan. Okay, Stefan B. B. JB saying D. Daniel saying D. Okay, Brute is saying C. Okay, we're going back to the B's. Sure this time. Okay. I got you, Jan. You're doing great. All right, Annie was saying B. Okay, B. Next question. Not yet. All right. A lot of people with the solid with the B's. Yes. So here's a couple ways of doing it. Now, like if we think about it, if 20%, so we're earning $15 an hour, and you worked 40 hours. Well, then we need to figure out how much that money is. So with your 15 times your 40, we have our 0. Then we have 5 times 40, that's 20, carry the 2. That gives me 6. So we have $600 we're talking about. But if they're going to take 20% out, okay? 20%'s coming out. How much is still on this thing? If 20% is out, how much percentage remains in? Go ahead and put that in the chat. How much percent remains in? That's the real life. People are broke. Yes, Jan, good. Yes, Johnny, good. User, good. Okay, I'm awkward. You're doing great, awkward. Okay, yes, it's going to be 80. I want the 80, good. All right, so if 20% is taking out, we can do this. We can multiply the 80% that remains in. Okay, so when we do that, we got our zeros, 3 of those, 6 and 8, that gives me 480. So I know here I have 2 decimal places. So that means my answer should be 2 decimal places. 1, 2, right here at 480. I know a lot of us are used to, okay, I have my 600, and that means I'm going to multiply that by my 20%, which is 0.2. So then I got my 1, 2, then I put my 3 zeros, 2 decimal points. So that means $120 is going to come out of the 600. So now you're doing, let me slide this over a little bit. Now you're going to have your 600, and then you're going to subtract the 120. Okay, borrow from the 6, make that a 5, make that a 10. So now we don't have to borrow again. So we have 0, we have 8, and we have 480. You get the same answer, but You take a little more time with this than with this. So anytime they're taking a percentage out, ask yourself, out of 100, how much is going to remain on that price? And a lot of people that work in retail, they generally use this pattern to, if you ever go somewhere that has a sale and they give you like a little chart, this is how they calculate their percentage. Like if 15% is coming off, that means 85% stays on. If 20% comes off, that means 80% is remaining on to the price. Okay. All right. So yeah, fun stuff. All right. So multiple ways of doing the same thing. So as we continue on, I just want to take a brief moment. If you guys can see if we can get up to 10K with the likes, I would greatly appreciate it. So if we all just do a quick mad tap, because we need to tell TikTok, hey, this is something that's not too terrible. Gives me a break of the norm of society and politics and war and all this stuff. It kind of gives me something nice and easy, nice and relaxing to think about. So if we can get it up to 10K, I will appreciate it. And then we're going to continue on. A lot of the worksheets that you guys are seeing, especially lately, I've been starting to create these and I'm thinking about putting them all into a book. So I just want to kind of sample it. If you can, give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Do you think of the quality? Trust me, you're not going to hurt my feelings. I want to make sure that I'm putting out some quality work. Okay, so of the questions that we did, do you think it's a thumbs up or a thumbs down? Don't have to be wishy-washy. Just tell me straight up. I'm grown. I can handle it. All right, thumbs up or thumbs down. What do you think? If I put them all into a break. Yes. All right. Okay, thank you. Appreciate your honesty. Yeah, I know. We all dead a break. I totally feel you. We all just need like a breather. Now, I know some people are probably like, you're kind of helping me with my social or my math anxiety. And that's awesome. I really want to kind of break that down for you so you don't have to worry and stress anymore. Okay, you definitely can do math because I used to struggle with this. Thank you, Lily Flowers. Appreciate you. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, thank you. Almost there, guys. Keep on tapping. Almost there. We're at 6.8. I appreciate it. Now, I know some of you guys actually work or you're trying to get ready for, I don't know, life. And you're doing a little bit of life while you're watching, which is great. And you might not be able to stay on the whole time, and I totally appreciate that. So what I'm going to do is all my TikTok, my replays are here. Of course, I can't say the name. They're here, but you can go here. And if you can do me a favor and go ahead and subscribe in there, all of my lives from February 2nd of last year, that's well over 300 videos because there was a couple of days I had to take off. But you can definitely see all of my replays there. Sometimes I do stuff like this, and some of them I actually focus on certain areas like factoring, solving equations, one-step, two-step, multi-step equations, graphing, slope, equation, the line, all of that. Okay. So again, this is a free subscription. So if you want to take a look at that, if you're trying to get yourself ready for the GED, the ASVAB, the Accuplacer, the TEAS test, the HESI test, anything that's dealing with basically algebra, even homeschool parents. I've seen homeschool grandparents are like, oh, my grandchild is watching this right now. Hey, have fun with it. Okay. Just wanted to put that out there. All right, we're almost there, guys. Almost there. We're at 9.3. Thank you so much for the subscription. Okay, just subscribe. Thank you, Mariah. I appreciate you. All right. So if anything, if you were measuring degrees, you would... Aw, the right angle. Oh, thank you. That's a pickup line. Hey. The way things have been going. Almost there, darlings. There we go. All right, as promised, let's keep this going. And I keep going until it's time for me to go into tutoring. So now, here's the next one. So a car travels 280 miles in 4 hours. At the same rate, how many miles will it travel in 7 hours? We're looking at A, 420, B, 490, C, 540, D, 560. Try to keep it clean here, people. Keeping it clean. Okay, so we got some B's, we got some B's, we got some B's. We have some 490s. Okay, so we got 490s, 490s, 490s. We have a B, we have a C, we have a B, we have a Okay, no problem. I am going to break this down. So if you do feel a little bit like, I don't even know how to set this up. Now, for all those that are going to be taking the ASVAB, which is your military entrance exam, because remember, it's in 2 parts. And the major part that a lot of people don't really do well in is the arithmetic reasoning, okay, the word problems. And they have tons of these, and the age problem. Like Annie is 2 years younger than Susan, and Susan is 5 years older than Butch. How old is Butch? You're like, who is Butch? Where did he come from? So a lot of those questions are in there too. And I also address that in my videos. So make sure you definitely take a look. All right, so let's take a look here. So if we're traveling, if it's like 280 miles in 4 hours. So this is my miles per hour. Per is division. And they're saying at the same rate, they want to know how many miles, so I don't know, will I travel in 7 hours. So we can do this one of 2 ways. We could divide the 280 by 4, which will give me 70. And 70 equals x over 7. And in order for me to get rid of a fraction, remember, fractions is division. I have to think of the inverse, the opposite of division, which is multiplication. Whatever I multiply, you always want to multiply by whatever your denominator is. So if I multiply both sides, because I've got to even it out, 7 divided by 7 will give me 1, but I still have an x, so that's 1x, or just x. And then 7 times 70 will give me my 490. So that's one way of doing it. Okay. And I like to give options because everybody doesn't do it exactly the same. So if we get another option, let's see if I can squeeze it on in here. So we have our 280 over 4 is equal our x over 7. We can do what's called cross multiplication. So if I cross multiply 4 times x, that gives me 4x. And then 280 divided by, multiplied by 7 will be 1960. And then we divide both sides by 4. How many 4s can go into 19 evenly without going over? That will be 4. 4 times 4 is 16. So 19 minus 16, that would be 3. Bring down the 6, we got 36. How many 4s can go into 36? 9. And 36 minus 36 gives me 0. And since we have this 0, we need to add this 0 in because 0 times 0 will give me 0. Okay, so 2 ways, same result. Okay, you pick which way you like best. What grades do I teach? I'm currently doing my own online tutoring business. Been doing it this is my 6th school year, and I have 7 through adults. So Algebra 1 all the way up to, I would say pre-calculus. I'm pretty decent. Algebra 2 is my sweet spot though. That will always be forever my love. But college algebra, especially for my adults, and some statistics. Not too much. It's not my love, but I will go through the torture for you. Okay? All right. So now, and here's the weird part. Everyone thinks that the math that you're learning in the ASVAB is different from what you're doing with the GED. No, it's the same algebra, man. 2 times 2, 2 plus 2, 2 squared, 3 different ways to get the same answer, which is 4. Okay, so it's still the same stuff. So now for number 2, if 3x plus 7 equals 22, what is the value of x? Is it A, 5, B, 15, C, 9, or D, 3? Okay. Do I teach economics? No, I do not. Sorry. Okay, so I've seen a whole bunch of Anns. We have Brianna, we have David, we have Jan, we have Heavenly Grace, we have Nikita, we have is it Neela? Okay, so Silly Fan is thinking it's A as well. Super high. We got a whole bunch of A's. Hey Coach is saying B. All right, so we got a whole bunch of A's. Oh, switched it over to A. Okay. Big Mama Fart Salad. That is an interesting name. All right, so let's break it on down. Telling you, you guys are inventive. So we have our 3x plus 7 is equal to 22. All right, so this is basically a 2-step equation. So first thing, we want to, our ultimate goal is to get the x by itself, but we're not touching that yet. We need to isolate this 3x for right now. So we're going to do the inverse of plus 7, which is minus 7. So 22 minus 7, that will give us our lovely 15. And then we bring down our 3x. So we just did one step. Now we need to do one more step to get x by itself. So 3x means 3 times x. So the inverse of times is division. We're going to divide. So we have x is equal to 15 divided by 3, which gives me 5. Again, that's one way of doing it. If you're in the classroom, this is exactly what your teacher wants you to do. They want you to solve and show work. But for those oldies but goodies and you're trying to take a test and you just want to pass it and it's timed and you're like, I haven't seen this since I was a fetus, we got to figure out some tricks of the trade, right? So this is one thing. Since it's multiple choice, let's try to plug in these answers for x to see which one will give me a true statement of 22. So right away, if I'm going to do 15 times 3, that's going to give me 45. It's going to be nowhere near 22. Boom, that's done. If I plug a 9 in for the x, that gives me 27. And if I'm going to add 7, I'm already above that 22. Boom, that's gone. So now we're between 5 and 3. If I plug that 5 in, 5 times 3 gives me 15, plus that 7, that gives me my 22. So booyah, that's my answer. Okay? Yep, needs for a job. I got you. So it's funny that you say this, Jay, because I'm currently working on an ebook that will connect careers with the math that I'm basically teaching. I'm kind of using it to kind of give people an idea and also to answer that question, when am I going to use this, right? Because we all know. Really, we're all sitting here learning this math for what? To get a job, okay? To get a career in order for us to support ourselves, right? Let's think about it. And you're probably saying, well, Audrey, I don't use this at all in my everyday life. Well, here's my thing. Because of the math and someone took it and applied with, that's how we're able to get this pen with this lovely ink into it. That's how we're able to be here on TikTok. That's how we're able to have the internet and the Wi-Fi to do all our crazy cat videos. Like, seriously, why so many cat videos? Calm it down. Cats already thinks that we're weird anyway. They're like, why aren't you using a litter box like everyone else? Like, what's up with this bowl of water, which I drink out of it at night? Okay, so going through all of this, I had to take a math test. Yep, I know, Jay, because I had a student that was trying to get a job as a receptionist at a nail salon, and they gave her a math test. Seriously? Her job is to answer phones, make sure everything's swept up, cleaned up, and make sure appointments are set. She had to take a math test. That's the world that we're living in. All right? So number 3 here, which I know the numbers are off. What is the area of a square with the perimeter 32 inches? Is it A, 8 squared inches, B, 16 squared inches, C, 64 squared inches, or D, 32 squared inches? So I was seeing a bunch of A's. I saw a C, a couple random B's, right? But no, they were having her do like calculus, which was weird. Do I do ACT prep for math? Yes, I do for my tutoring services. Not so much on here. All right, so we got A's, C's, eight, and a couple C's. We got some 64s, okay? So we got some A's, we got some C's, we got some A's, we got some C's, and a random here, B here and there. All right, let's take a look. So first, we got our square. And if we know a square, all 4 sides are exactly the same measure. So if I'm doing the area of a square, a lot of people will know it as length times width or base times height. Some people will know it as whatever your side is, and you're going to square it. Okay, one of the two will give you the same result. So they're saying that all 4 of these sides, since the same perimeter, when you add up all the sides, it will give you 32. So I need to know what one of my sides is. So what I would do is I would take that 32 and I would divide by the number of sides I have. So 32 divided by 4, that would give me 8. So this is saying that all 4 sides is equivalent to 8 inches. Okay. But we don't want to know what one side is. We want to know the area. So that's why A is gone. Okay, we don't want to know what just one side is. We want to know the area. So as I said, the area is basically your side squared. Or you can say the multiplication of your length times width. Either way, 8 times 8, 8 squared, gives you the same answer of 64 squared inches. So your answer should be C. Oops. Okay. Okay. What's your issue? All right. There you go, Angela. I see you. Good. Andrea, I see you. Okay. You saw perimeter and forgot it was asking for area. Okay, True Blue. All right. Thank you. I appreciate that. Be right. Hey, Jacinda. I saw you in there. Okay. So you need me? Hey, here you go. How do you book a session for the act? There is a link in my bio, a nice little link tree that you can actually just go in there and just fill in the, contact form. There we go. Ah, what is this? Sorry. I love when things just randomly pop up on my screen, which is so funny. All right, here we go. Next one. A soldier earns $2,400 a month. He saves 15% of his pay. How much does he save? Okay. Is it A, $360, B, $240, C, $400, or D, $150? make sure you read the question again. When I said read the question, I mean this part. Okay, we know this is involved. We know we're saving this, but how much does he save? Okay, I've seen some A's, some A's, some A's. Miriam, we got an A. Jan, we got an A. We got C.T. Price with an A. Noah, A. Diane, A. Tender, Flower, A. A again, all right. Okay, we got Trevor with A. We got A. Okay, Dancer with a D, feeling daring. Doesn't give me a time frame. Okay. True. Okay, we got some A's, we got some D's. We got an A and we got a D. All right, so we got a battle between A's and D's. Most of them were A's. So let's take a look. So we have that $2,400. Okay, he says 15% of it. So that means we have 2,400, and we're going to take that 15%. So it doesn't say 15% off. Like, we're trying to calculate what is that amount that is coming off, not what's remaining. That's why I said make sure you always reread the question again. So if we do our multiplication, we got our 0. I'm going to do it old school. 0. 5 times 4 is 20. Carry the 2. 5 times 2 is 10. Plus the 2 gives me 12. Then we have our 0, our 4, our 2, and then we're adding. Okay. So then we have our 0, 2 plus 4. That gives me 6. And we have 3. This was 2 decimal places. This had 0 decimal places. So when you're multiplying, you're adding together your decimal places. So that means our answer should have a 2 decimal places. Starting at the end, 1, 2. Now we have 360, which is our answer of A. Yep. And you can do the same thing with the 10% and the 5% and add together. Yep. All right. Thank you so much for the follows, guys. They're like, yes. There you go. She's like, I got one right. Hey, that is a step in the right direction. So that is awesome. Okay, so you need a book like this to study from. All right. So before I get to my next one, we're almost at 15. That's awesome. I will take, as soon as we get to 15, quick little taps. Now, for these, okay, again, would you like for me to put problems like this in a booklet? I can make it as an ebook, and I can also make it as a physical book. The physical book is going to be a little bit nuts because the A, and if you're like, what's the A? The A has a certain amount of pages that has to be in the book. Whereas if I do it like as an ebook, you can download it. Plus you can get it the same day. And then you can just go happy, joy with getting all your answers. All right. Yes, please. Yes. All right. Thank you, Wildflower. Ebook is fabulous. Awesome. All right. How do you know you multiply or addition? Oh, anytime you're working with percentages, you're doing some multiplication. Okay, anytime you're taking the percentage off, percentage on, well, anytime they're making with percentages, we're doing multiplication. Okay, Ren and Stimpy. I knew somebody was going to get it. I know I'm old. My peoples are out there. Conversion. Okay. I can see if I can do that as well. All right. Yeah. Oh, thank you. You have no idea. You guys are making my day. All right. So hopefully this day will continue on. Hopefully we'll be doing all right for the rest of the day because it has been a wild ride. All right. So awesome. More than 15. Look at you. All right. So, number 17. So I think we'll be able to get this page done. All right, what is the prime factorization of 36? Ooh, is it A, that's 2 times 3 times 6? Is it B, is it 2 squared times 3 squared? C, 4 times 9? Or D, 2 times 2 times 9? Okay, they always have at least one question like this, definitely on the ASVAB. And I think they might have like one, probably not too many, on the GED or the high school equivalents. Okay, so I see a whole bunch of A's, a couple B's, B's. I got C's. Taking a guess with a B, okay. Trying to find my support thing so you can see. I think this one has it. Oh, no. All right, I'm just trying to find my other book. Okay, so a bunch of B's, which is awesome. All right, now, the way that we're doing prime factorization, that means it's almost like that factor tree that we had back in the day. So we start with the 36, and then we try to think, what two numbers, if I can multiply, will give me 36? Some people will say 6 and 6. Some people will say 4 and 9. Some people will say like 12 and 3, what have you, okay? So if I say, let's keep it culture. If I say 6 times 6, and I know I can break down that 6 to 2 times 3. And I'm going to do that twice. The reason why I stop here is because 2s and 3s, there are prime numbers. So what a prime number is, a number multiplied by 1 that gives you the number back. So the first prime number, here we go. I want you to put it in the chat. The first prime number is what? Put it in the chat. I want to see what you guys have before I say my 2 cents. What is the first prime number? So I got some 2s, I got some 1s, I got some 2s, I got some 1s, I got 2s, I got 3, 6, 1, 2s. Okay, I got some 1s, got some 3s, 4s, 1s, 0s, 2, 1s. This is the reason why I say this. No clue, you're not dumb. You just don't know. I'm going to educate you. Isn't that going to be fun? All right. So the first prime number, ladies and gentlemen, and all those I love, first prime number is 2. It's not 1. Okay. The first prime number in any sequence is 2. Because if you think about it, if you're using a prime number, it's 2 and 1, right? The next prime number is 3 and 1. Then it's 5 and 1. Then it's 7 and 1, right? The 1 is constantly being used. So it can't be a prime number, okay? So 2, and they always do something like this. Oh, the first prime number, use the first prime number in this. And everyone always use 1, okay? So now, for those that didn't know, now you got a little party trick that you can give out. Tomorrow's Friday. You can be like, hey guys, I learned something new. What's the first prime number? Some people would 1. You're like, wrong. Then you'll be like, the praise of the party. All right. So now to go back to this, since these are our prime numbers, notice I have 2 2s and I have 2 3s. So I know 6 is not a prime number, because I can get 2 times 3 out of 6. See, we just did it right here. So that's why A is gone. I know 4 is not a prime number, because if I try to break down 4, that's 2 times 2. If I try to break down 9, that's 3 times 3. These numbers need to be broken down some further. So that is not going to work. The same thing for D, because 9 is not a prime number, because 3 times 3 can also give me 9. Boom. So your answer is actually going to be B. See 9? Okay. The reason why that 2 is squared, because I got 2 2s. The reason why that 3 is squared, because I got 2 threes. That's why B is going to be your answer. Okay. All right. Okay, makes sense. There you go. You had an idea. See? Look at you. Go with the feeling. Go with the feeling. All right. All right, so now for 18, let's see if we can get 2 more in. So if a person walks, actually there was something I wanted to show you. I totally forgot about it. I got excited and now I got the answer right. All right, here we go. All right, so I'll go back to it. So for number 18, if a person walks at a speed of 4 miles per hour, how long will it take to walk 10 miles? Is it A, 2 hours, B, 2.5 hours, C, 3 hours, or D, 4 hours? All right, so I'm seeing some B's, I'm seeing some D's, I'm seeing some confident B's, I'm seeing some, I don't know, okay, don't guess. So you're saying 2.5, Momo, okay, Maya, we're saying with B, okay, Tasky, okay, saying B, I know you've been in here before. Okay, my bad, B. Okay, I got you, Jacinda. Good. Jumper Jam, we got B. Latour, we got B. We got B, B, B. Are you going to repost this? Yeah, not really repost, but we're going to, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Okay, so we agree with the B's. All right, so let's take a look. So again, anytime I'm seeing miles per hour, I'm thinking about a ratio. This is just how my mind goes. So I got 4 miles per 1 hour. So I'm going to compare that to another ratio, which is saying how long will it take to walk 10 miles? So the 10 is going to be in the numerator and my unknown is going to be in the denominator because I have it set up as miles per hours. So for all of my t-test people, you are going to be doing this a lot. Ratios, proportions, that is going to be your home, doing those conversions, okay? Especially when you're doing conversions from miles to, kilometers and all that kinds of fun stuff, all right? So just like we did before, we could divide the 4 into 1 to give me my 4. And then you have your 10 over x, but that means I have to multiply both sides by my denominator, which is the x. So that will give me 4x, and these two x's will cancel out, and it will leave me with 10. Okay? Then I can divide by 4. Remember, there's multiple ways of getting the same answer. I know this is a long way. I don't really like it personally. So now we got 10 divided by 4. So how many 4s can go into 10? Well, that's 2. And then 10 minus 8 will give me a remainder of 2. So that means I had to bring down a 0. So now instead of a 2, I have a 20. And how many 4s can go into 20? Exactly 5. So this will give me my hours. So it'll be 2.5 hours. That's one way of doing it. Let's see if I can shrink it in a little bit. No? Yes? Okay. All right, so this is one way of doing it. Another way, just cross multiply. So if I cross multiply, I get to my 4x is equal to 10, so I get to this a lot faster. Divide both sides by 4. Then again, I will get my 10/4, which again will lead into my 2.5. Okay. Or I can just start from here. 10 divided by 4, I have my x over 1, so I can just do it basically from right to left if I want to do that as well for the division. Okay. Either way, 3 multiple ways of getting the same answer. Okay, second one was easier. Okay, good. Do I have a book for sale? Oh, yes, I do. So to go back to this one when we were doing factoring, because I was so excited, inside of my books, okay, some of my books are called Algebra at Your Pace. It is a 15-book series. Right now, we have 2 more books left, but one of the resources that I have is called the factor sheet. So if you notice here, we were trying to break down 36. So if you notice, see if I can get it in frame. With the 36, I'm giving you the factors of 36. So just in case multiplication is just not your thing, these are the numbers, if I multiply them together, will give me 36. So if I wanted to break down, I could have used 6 and 6, like I said, 4 and 9, 3 and 12, 2 and 18, okay? If I'm breaking down factorization, 1 and 36 is sometimes not going to help you unless it's a -1, but we'll talk about that later. Okay, so I have a whole bunch of these factors. A lot of people generally go up to 100. My factor sheet goes all the way up to 200 because I know I basically designed these books with my Algebra 2 and pre-calc students in mind. Okay, so a lot of the books, and I think one day, especially maybe this weekend or maybe even Friday, we'll see how it goes later for tonight, that I basically have taken the GED, the ASVAB test, and looked at all the stuff that's usually tested, and I compiled the book. And what I do is I have a QR code that's here. If you scan it, then it will take you directly to square roots, for example. Gives you a place for you to write all your notes for the square roots, as well as gives you a section for you to write down all the practice problems that's on that video. Now, my videos is just like how I tutor here, or just like how I break down stuff here. It's very detailed. Some things you might want to fast forward. Some things you might want to pause and see if you can do it yourself. Okay. I also give you some extra practice problems, not to overwhelm, but to get you thinking. All right. And at the end of every book, you get a quiz. So the quiz for just that volume, just to make sure that you understand those concepts. Now, in addition to that, you get a lot of the resources. So for volume 1, here is the decimal operation, the fraction operation. Then we have the factor sheet, as I gave you before. We'll give you the reference sheet. So let me zoom out quite a bit. Okay, so what words go with what operations, that's in here. Then also your squares, your square roots, your cubes, your cube roots, all of that's in here. So I'm going to start putting posting, as well as I like to put GIFs because I'm a giving person. It's my downfall. So I also did some resources. This one is working on the exponents. So if you make a copy of this, fold here and here, this is going to be the question. On the reverse side, this will be your answer. So if I'm looking at, let's say, x cubed times x to the 5th times x, well, if I'm multiplying, I'm adding my exponents. So 3 plus 5 plus 1 will give me x to the 9th. So it's a lot of little things. And that's what I'm saying. This one has like a good 6 pages filled of these cards. And there's 4 cards on each page. So 6 times 4, that's 24 cards. All right. And then, of course, my spiel on the very back. All right. Where can you get these books? You just have to go to the link in my bio. All right. Everything is in there. It will take you to it to get the physical books, or you can get digital books. Here are the prices of them, just in case you're curious. And in about 1 moment, I am going to go to the next problem. I'm going to try to fit 2 more before I have to skedaddle. Okay. All right. So that was it. Does this work? Does what work? Work for what, Owen? Work for what? So are you like trying to convert the hours into minutes and then minutes into miles? Well, my question is, why convert to minutes if everything is going to be in hours? If it said this was in minutes and they want your stuff in hours, yes, do the conversion. okay, do the conversion. But since everything's in hours, you don't have to do the conversion, okay? All right. The reason why I say that, I'm not saying it's wrong, because you're converting and then you're just converting back. So I'm trying to say when you take these standardized tests, there is a time limit. They're basically giving you like 1 minute per question. So that's why I try to keep it in that framework. Okay. Okay. Now cooking dinner. Yay. What are we having? Yeah, I just had dinner earlier. I feel like I'm turning 80. I'm like having dinner at like 2 o'clock because I tutor for so late. Ay, ay, ay. All right. So 2 more. Let's do this. Let's solve. I should really say simplify. So I'll correct that. So we have 8 minus 3 plus 2 squared plus 4. Is our answer going to be A, negative 13, B, 9, C, 7, or D, 29? Okay, I'm going to change that from solve to simplify. See, this is why I love doing these things. What did I have? Ugh, trash. Food. That's where it gets to the point. Like whatever was cheapest. It's so crazy. Probably gonna die of hoof mouth disease. All right, so we're seeing some A's, some A's, some A's. Thank you for the follow. Got some A's. Jayla is with the A, Lisa with the A. Okay, Chickasaw. Oh, right, rice and asparagus. Lovely. Okay, Tico with the D. We have a C. Okay, keep finishing it out, Sheila. Okay, keep finishing it out. Okay, so we got A, we got a 7, we got Bob with a negative 13. We got to agree with the A. The nan bread. We got our A, we got our A, we got a negative 13, we got an A, we got 9, we got negative 21. Okay. All right. All right, and so we have our B. Now, let's take a look. Do not forget, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Okay, from left to right. Okay, we have to have a process of ordered operations. Okay, that whole thing of having our underwear on the outside of our clothes is over. Okay. So if we take a look, we have to do what's inside the parenthesis first. So that means I'm going to bring down my 8 minus, and what's happening? 3 plus 2, that gives us 5. And we're going to square it, plus 4. So that parenthesis is done. So now we're looking at the exponent. What's being raised to the exponent? The 5 is the only thing that's being raised to the second power. So 5 to the second power, not 5 times 5, okay? This is not going to give me 10. This is 5 squared, which means 5 times 5, okay? Not 5 times 2 is what I was trying to say. So we have 8 minus 25 plus 4. So now we did our exponents. We don't have any multiplication or division, so we don't have to worry about that. But we have addition or subtraction from left to right. So what we need to combine first is this 8 minus 25. Okay, so with our 8 minus 25, oh, excuse me. 1 second. Okay, all right, everything's fine. You ever get that sneeze, you're like, think something else is gonna happen. All right, so 8 minus 25 gives me a negative 17. So negative 17 plus 4, that will give us our negative 13. So our answer is A. Okay, thank you. All right. Okay, so are we doing okay? Are we doing all right? Okay. Well, thank you, Mott. Appreciate you. All right, so let's do one more. Let's do it. Here we go. All right, a map scale of 1 inch is equal to 20 miles. How many inches represent 150 miles? Is it A, 6 and 5/10, B, 7 and 5/10, C, 8 and 5/10, or D, 10? What do you think? Thank you for the rose. Thank you for the taps, the likes, all of this. And spoil a girl. Spoil her. All right. So we got our C, we got our A's, we got B's, we got Lisa with a B, we got Ray with a B, Hiawatha with a B, we got 6.5, B, 8.7, B, G. Okay, G, we're going back to B, okay. So we got B, we got 7.5s, we have a C, we got a B with a Cam, okay, Sherry with a B, okay, Chadlek with a B, J with a B, PJ with a B. Oh, thank you. All right, Sharon with a B, Lizzie with 6.5, 7.5s. Okay, Miss Kim. Hey, Miss Kim, how are you? Eb, good. Hello, Eb. Welcome back. Okay, hello, Charmaine. Thank you, Charmaine. Appreciate you. Okay, Candy with a B. All right, so let's take a look. So this time we got our 1 inch is representing 20 miles. So that means my numerator is the inch, denominator is the miles. So they're saying how many inches? So we don't know. That's going to be my unknown. That's going to be my X, is representing 150 miles. Okay, so inch mile. So we can solve this, again, multiple ways, right? So we could, if we wanted to, we could cross multiply. I'll switch up. I'll do it. So that'll be like 20x is equal to 150. And then divide both sides by 20. We can do it this way. And then our x, since we're dividing two numbers that end with zeros, instead of worrying about 150, cancel out the zeros. Now you're looking at 15 divided by 2. So much easier to break down 15 because that will give me my 7.5. Okay? So that's one way of looking at it. You could, since we're dealing with a 1 and an x, we could take this 20 and see if we can multiply by one of these numbers to see which one will give me 150. Well, we know 10's not going to be work because 20 times 10, that's 200. That's way too much. Okay? And if you wanted to say, all right, 8 times 20, that gives me 160, and I still got to multiply that 0.5. That's more than 150. So that can cancel out. If I multiply the 7 and the 20, that gives me 140. And then there's a 0.5 that we have to account by. That's a possibility. But if I know if I want to go 6 times 20, that gives me 120. And with that 0.5, it's not quite going to be close to 150. But you can actually do the multiplication. So process elimination can help you out as well. Sometimes we overthink when it comes to exams because you're like, the time keeps going and I don't know if I could do this. And you're freaking out for like no reason. Okay? So that is all that I got for today. Okay? Yep. If you just want to divide the 150 and the 20, you can do that. But remember, if they both end with zeros, get rid of the zeros. Yeah, just get rid of the pair of zeros. So now you just got 15 divided by 2. So much easier. Okay? All right. So I don't know what my rest of my evening is going to go. But I just want to let you know, if you want, where's my information? This is what happens when I move stuff around. Okay. All right. So some people asked me about replays. Okay. This is where you can go. This is where you can go for the replays, okay? So there should be a link in my bio that gets you connected directly to it, okay? Don't be afraid. It's a LinkedIn or link tree. Sorry, link. Go ahead and subscribe. I want to get at least like 1,500 in there. That would be awesome for me. Another thing before you guys skedaddle, I know I am not the only person in here doing stuff, but this is just what I like to do. I like to show love, and because a lot of you guys need different resources. These are some awesome people that are also here on TikTok that basically you can probably use the support. You might have someone that when I'm not on, Impact Math with Miss Taylor, Impact Math 19, really, that is her name. She's on here. I know she goes on at 2 o'clock. She was probably on before I came on. And she does the GED, the ASVAB, and she also does worksheets as well. So she's awesome. She's on more consistent than I am, because right now tutoring is, it's a appreciation. That's why I say it. But if you are someone that's going into nursing and you need assistance with dosage calculations, a blessed RN is the woman for you. She knows how to do it, like all the proportions, to make sure that you got the doses correct, because you know what? We don't want to kill anybody. You know, it's just that whole life-death thing, right? So we want to make sure that we have that under wraps. And if you know of anyone that's taking chemistry, maybe AP Chem, that test is coming up real quickly and you think they need a tutor, make sure you reach out to Professor TK. She definitely knows her stuff inside and out. If you are having, maybe you or maybe someone else that wants to learn the foundations of adding and subtracting and learn it in such a way that was before we started doing algebra, which was using the abacus, make sure you bond up with learning with Lynette. She's always on. She's on like twice a day. I think she'll be on this evening. Well, East Coast, it'll be evening, about like around 10 o'clock. Sometimes 11. And then if you need something with a little more advanced, like in the calculus area, make sure you go to Mr. M. I know his lives, he really does basically a lot of the same things with factoring, but he does tutoring for calculus. So if you know somebody that needs a calculus tutor, make sure you hook up with Mr. M. Okay? What's an abacus? Never heard of it? Okay, not a problem. Research it. Okay, it's the way, I don't want to say it's counting with beads because that makes it sound so like, no. But that's basically how we learned how to count before we started going into this advancement called algebra. Okay, how do we keep track? All right, oh, Lynette's here. And plus, if you ever want to see a picture of an abacus, if you go to your phone and you send, like, say you want to send somebody a text message, type the word math. And you'll see like this box with beads on there. That's what abacus is. Okay. Yep. Back in your day, we didn't have that. I know. All right. So make sure you guys follow these guys. Again, if you want any of my books, I have tons of books now. It's starting to expand and I love it. And the fact that you guys gave me some feedback with these worksheets, I think I might actually do an ebook on this as well. But I'm almost done with the ebook with the different careers, which also has like a 25 question quiz in the back of it to kind of see if are you career ready to be able to do some of the math and to take their entries level mathematics. And then plus they'll introduce you with a couple of careers where the math is in there. Okay, the math be mathin'. So I'm almost done with that, but I have 2 more of my Algebra at Your Pace books, and I'm excited about that. So if you're interested in Algebra Pace, Your Pace books, are you interested into my flashcards and resource books? I also have math notebooks. Of course, I'm going to be doing a lot of lives with that. And Audrey's notes, which was just a copy of all my notes. I only have books 1 through 6. And then also has my tutoring contact form. So if you want to do that. But if you do purchase any digital copies, please look at the thank you page. That's where the link is. Like after you put your payment in, the link is right there. Boom. I got a whole bunch of arrows pointing to it. Okay. But you have to click and save it. Save it. Okay, so make sure you guys do that. All right. Okay. Yep. No, it can't be next question because I have to go and tutor. So make sure you guys follow me here. You can follow me at here. You can also, I know, I was like, you can follow me here. You can follow me here. You can also follow me here to get the updates on when all my books are up and running. Okay. So those are basically the general ones that I have. All right, everyone. So again, if you have any questions, you're not sure which of these lovely books you want to purchase. Okay, order of operations, solving equations, one step, two step, linear equations, inequalities, system of equations, and then the last one, well, there's more, there's two more, but I'm still waiting for them to come in. Factoring and polynomial, they're all the same. Most with the practice problems, lots of word problems, some resources, okay, just enough for you to kind of get a gist plus answer keys. And if you want detailed answer keys, there is a QR code that you can scan and it will actually take you to a payment because you pay like $5.99 and you can get me actually explaining all of the questions in that volume step by step. All right. Okay. Gotta skedaddle. I'm late. All right. Do I go over scientific notation? Yes, I do. And if anything, if you need it right here, right now, make sure you go to this channel and then type in where the TikTok lives. If you go to TikTok lives, you'll see all of that. Okay. All right. Okay. I will see you guys soon. Definitely tomorrow. Possibly later. It's probably going to be like either 4:30 or it could be 1 o'clock. One of the two. All right. Talk to you soon. Bye now.